Today we're taking a look at a reissue of a classic Bulova, the Bulova 1973 Jetstar. And what they have done here is given you a reinterpretation, a modern reinterpretation of that original Jetstar. You're getting a Precisionist movement and of course modern materials. However, they have retained that 70s look. The colors, the dial, the bracelet, everything about this watch screams the 1970s. However, it's a thoroughly modern watch. Today I have the limited edition to show you guys with a beautiful sunburst silver dial. It's a limited edition. There are two other versions that are non-limited editions. We'll discuss those in the video as well. But let's flip the camera and take a look at the limited edition version of the new 1973 Bulova Jetstar. Here it is. This is the reissue of the Bulova Jetstar. This is a limited edition. I believe all three variants that they've made are limited editions, but I'm not exactly sure what that number is. However, this one is actually labeled a limited edition. It comes with an extra strap. It also comes with the bracelet. So this is a little bit more expensive than the non-limited editions, or the ones that are named as non-limited editions. However, you do get that extra strap. This is the strap right here. This is in blue and red, and it is perforated. It is really cool. I wouldn't say it's very 70s at all, but it definitely fits with this watch, and you have a lot of that blue and red in the dial. So that chapter ring is in blue and red. The indices are in silver, blue, and red. They have little lume plops on them, and then the hands are red. There is lume in the hands. It is so cool. The colors that they chose for this watch all fit together really well. It's very heavily inspired by the vintage Jetstar, and you can definitely see that inspiration in this watch. The case shape is very angular. It's not really a tonneau shaped case. However, it's more of a traditional watch case that is definitely angular. You can see it when you turn it on its side. Right here, there's sort of a flat edge, and it is all brushed on the side, and then the lugs just sort of reach out to the sides of the watch, or the extremities of the watch. You have a chamfered edge on the bottom. It's a very thick chamfered edge that is polished, and then it's polished on the case back. The case back is screwed in. You get 50 meters of water resistance, and it just gives you a little bit of information on the watch on there. This is a sample, so this is not a production model, but it's basically exactly what you would get from Bulova if you purchased this. Polished on the top of the watch, you have polished angles here along the case, and then you have a circular bezel that is polished. You have a domed sapphire crystal and a sunburst silver dial. And I'll do some video of this in sunlight. I've actually already posted that on my Instagram because the dial here is really, really nice. It does say 262 kilohertz there at the bottom of the dial, and that is because this is not an automatic, although you do see a perfect sweep second hand on here. This is a Precisionist. This is not very common. You don't see the Precisionist movement in a time-only watch. I don't know if I've ever seen it in a time-only watch. I'm sure they have used it in the past, however, not in a popular model, so I have never actually seen it in just a time-only fashion. So here it is. This has a very, very smooth second hand, and it's also very accurate. So it's a revolutionary movement. A lot of people do overlook the Precisionist. It's an 8-jewel quartz movement, so it is a quartz movement. However, it does vibrate at 262 kilohertz, so that makes it extremely accurate. It's accurate to about 5 seconds per month, which is excellent. And then you do have a perfect sweep second hand, and when I say perfect, it's literally Grand Seiko level, maybe even smoother than a Grand Seiko, and it costs way less. So this watch costs $695 as the limited edition, and the non-limited edition is $595. The non-limited editions are in a red dial, which is awesome, and it comes on this bracelet, and then there is a gold PVD colored version, and that comes on a strap very similar to this, except in a brown color, which looks really good. And I think those are limited as well. I think they limit those to like 7,000 pieces, which sounds like a lot, but really isn't all that much considering that it is a Bulova and these will be sort of mass marketed. I think that's pretty good. I'm going to do quick measurements on this, then I'll throw it on my wrist. I'll show you what I have on my wrist, and then we will do a lume shot because this does get lume. I'll do plenty of photos of this watch on the bracelet as well. This is around a 40 millimeter watch at the case, so 40 millimeters, almost spot on. You have a very large crown on here that has the Bulova tuning fork on it. That's their logo, 5.8 millimeters. Lug to lug is a very decent, around 40, I think it was around 46 millimeters, somewhere in that neighborhood, so 45.2. And then the thickness, including that domed boxed sapphire crystal, is just about 12 millimeters thick. On wrist today, I have a watch that I intentionally wore for this review. It's a watch that I really would love to see Bulova reissue. This is my Bulova Oceanographer. It's from the 1970s. I think this one is from 1979. Somewhere around there, and it is just a really cool homage to probably a few different watches, but I would say the Mido Ocean Star and of course the Rolex Submariner, somewhere in between those two watches, but damn, it looks really, really good. And of course it comes on a Bulova bracelet that goes really well with the case. Everything about this watch is just cool. Well, speaking of cool, this looks really cool on my 7.5 inch wrist. It really does fit very well. It's a 40 millimeter watch with around a 45.2 millimeter lug to lug, 12 millimeters thick. It just works. On this strap, it looks phenomenal. I just think it works really, really well. I love the color combination. I love that sunburst dial. It just looks good and feels really good on my 7.5 inch wrist. And here it is on the bracelet. This bracelet is really nice. However, I definitely would go with that strap. I think it looks great on the bracelet. However, something about that strap I really like. It's sort of a suede leather and the perforation, the colors that match the dial so well. Of course, this matches the dial really well as well, but it's just something about that strap I really like. Well, there you go. Lume, not terrible on this watch. You have lume on each one of the indices. It's just a little dot, and then the hands are liberally applied with lume. There is no lume on the second hand. I would always like to see that just so I know that it's working in the dark. Other than that, it's really my only complaint. I think this is a really good looking watch, a really great reissue of a watch that obviously was very important for Bulova. And they did it a little bit different from the original. Very good looking. I love the color combination. Very playful, very 1973 when this was first introduced. Tell me what you guys think down in the comments below. I want to hear from you guys. What do you think of this watch? What do you think of them using the Precisionist movement rather than going with a standard Miyota movement or Sellita movement like a lot of brands do? This makes this an in-house movement to Bulova. This is the Bulova Precisionist inside. So technically this is an in-house movement. So this is basically an in-house watch, which is really awesome. And it has an incredible sweep second, which is, you know, kind of reminiscent of what you get from Grand Seiko. It's very, very accurate, very reliable. Can't go wrong. I think that's really cool. I'm really happy that they did that. Kind of unexpected as well, which end up getting the same movements over and over again, and seeing something a little bit different is refreshing. Anyway, tell me what you think down in the comments below. I want to hear from you guys. Please also don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. It's super helpful for the channel, and I very much appreciate it. Anyway, guys, thank you for logging on. I'll catch you in the next video.